My name's Shaquan, but a lot of people know me by my other name, Mad Skillz. I'm an MC.
My name is Mad Skillz. Paris, make some noise.
I'm a DJ.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a ghostwriter for some of your favorite rappers. I'm not about to tell you who, though. But most importantly, I'm a hip-hop enthusiast. HipHopConfessions is raw, unfiltered conversations with my friends revealing things that they didn't like, never knew about,
I don't know.
or never got into about hip-hop culture. So sit back,
Oh, come on, y'all.
turn up the volume,
Hip-hop.
and listen to HipHopConfessions. Because everybody's got one.
Here's a little story that must be told.
And it goes a little something like this.
Yo, what's up, world? It's your boy, Mad Skillz, and we are back. This is HipHopConfessions, my podcast where I bring in my friends, industry veterans, DJs, MCs, just people who love this hip-hop culture, and I get them to, come on camera and admit something that they haven't told anybody. It could be music-related, hip-hop related, and what we call that is a hip-hop confession. And right about now, man, listen, I'm excited. I'm fanning out right now. I got one of my favorite rappers of all time on the pod, man. I've been waiting for this moment for a while. Just listen, we gonna get into everything, man. The history, the future, and all of that. Listen, man, one of the founding members of the group Brand Nubian. Y'all make some noise for my OG Sadat X. What's up, bro?
Peace, Skills. I'm here, man. I'm ready to do the thing. I'm here, no question.
How you been, man? How you been doing?
I'm good, man. I'm down here in Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, North
everything's
Carolina.
beautiful. Yeah, everything is beautiful. Like I said, they got an active shooter alert right now outside. So, it's a little crazy if
Let's stay inside.
Yeah, if anybody's in the Raleigh area and Headingham area, stay inside. They got an active shootout. So I'm inside. I'm ready though. You already know.
Great. Yeah, I already know. I already know how you get down. Listen, I grew up in Fayetteville, man.
Okay.
A lot of my formative years and adolescent years was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So I wasn't too far from down there where you from.
That's what's
you know
up.
what I'm
No
saying?
question. I got a lot of family in the South, Raleigh, Tarboro. So I've been coming back and forth to the Carolina area for like all my life.
Wow, man, that's crazy, man. Listen, North Carolina. I remember back in the day, North Carolina, it wasn't really a breeding ground for hip hop like it is now. You know what I'm saying? Before the, the Ninth Wonders and the J. Coles, and you know what I mean. I remember it was another group out of there. I forgot their name, but they had like a little bubbling single.
I know they had Yag Food Front.
Yeah, Yag Food Front. Yeah. Yag Food Front.
The thing is, man, like in Carolina, for us anyway, for Brand Nubian, the Carolina, Virginia area, oh man, like Tidewater area, that they kept us afloat, man. Like we did so many shows, Brand Nubian shows coming out in Carolina. I mean, from Raleigh to Greensboro to Kinston to Asheville, on down to Norfolk and Hampton, and man, they kept us
Richmond.
alive.
Yeah.
Richmond, definitely Richmond. Ivy,
Hey, I seen you. Listen, I got my hip hop confession is about the night that y'all came to Ivory's. We gonna get into all of that.
No question.
But man, listen, it's just so good to see you, man, and just doing well, and you know what I mean, doing your thing, man. But originally from New Rochelle.
Yeah,
right?
bro. Originally from the Bronx. I was
From the
born in
BX.
the Bronx. Yeah, from the BX, born in the Bronx, and moved up to New Rochelle, which is like a suburb of the Bronx, right there on the edge.
Right.
And came up there, met Pooh Bah and Jamar. In the early high school years, Pooh Bah was a little bit older than us, so he'd already been in the group Masters of Ceremony. And they made some joints, and actually what happened was Pooh Bah was trying to get me a deal and Jamar a deal separately. Like we wasn't a group.
Okay.
We were all separate. Pooh Bah already had his group, and he was trying to get us a deal, and somehow we wound up getting on a track together, and it sounded good. And being that Pooh Bah already had the inroads to the industry and to going downtown to these record labels, he was able to go downtown and finagle a deal within about, I say, from doing that song, we had a deal in about 7 to 8 months.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, so Pooh Bah went downtown and came back with a check.
Came back with a check. Came back with the deal. Word. I was like, oh man, I was surprised. I just wanted to be heard in the town. Like I didn't have the ramifications or the foresight to even see how it would be now. Like it's crazy.
Right. Man, yeah, from that to being one of the most legendary, groups of all time, man. Y'all, I remember the first time I heard or saw Brand Nubian was the video.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember the video. I think it was the one that the Sunshine joint.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
y'all
yeah,
sampled
yeah.
the Sunshine joint. Move on,
Mhm.
black man,
Yeah,
move
yeah,
on.
yeah,
And I
definitely.
I remember seeing y'all on Yo MTV Raps, man. And I remember that video where everybody getting down. And I remember learning. Y'all were one of the first groups. Y'all in Public Enemy were one of the first groups of where I was learning. So my mother
Yeah.
didn't mind me listening to what I was listening to because I was
Exactly.
getting what I wasn't getting in school.
Exactly. No
You
question.
know what I'm saying? And I remember hearing y'all, and I started, asking people like, "Yo, what's the 5%ers? What's you know what I'm saying? What's the
Mhm.
original black man?" They was telling me to get books. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
Elijah Muhammad and things like that. So you know what I mean? Like y'all X Clan and Public Enemy, man, were like my first teachers. You know what I'm
Yeah, and
saying? And
and and
KRS
and
One.
and that was around the time, man, when a lot of things was happening, man. Like it had been a lot of violence against black people. I know in New York, they had when the boy went out to Queens to buy a car and he had gotten beaten by the white mob. So it was a lot
Mm-hmm.
of awareness going on at that time. Spike Lee was coming out with his movies, School Days, Do the Right Thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of cultural awareness. People was going back to the kente cloths and the beads and just trying to find out about themselves, man. So that was like a beautiful time, and it was a golden age in hip hop. That whole period.
It really was, man, because I feel like, nowadays, and not to be that guy, but we don't learn as much in the music that
That's a fact.
as we used to. You know what I'm saying? The music used to have a little spark, just enough where it didn't feel too preachy, but it made you want to inquire about more. And I miss that, man. I miss the fact that my kids don't have that in their music. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I tell my nephews and everything, like the music y'all got, like you said, I don't want to be that guy, like, but I'd be like, it don't teach you nothing. What it do teach you? It teach you how to maybe do a new dance, or teach you how to
mhm.
like take these pills, or teach you how to do some scamming shit.
Yeah,
Like
it teach you how to go to jail or go to the
exactly.
graveyard.
Teach you how to go to
Like,
jail, go to the graveyard, and it teach you how to go to jail, but it don't tell you about jail because I've been in the jail too. And
right.
and when I been and when I was in jail, we was waiting for dudes like that to come on through. Like, yeah, all right, come on
Right.
through. All that fly
Yeah.
shit, bring it on through to the
Right.
to the
Come on in
jailhouse.
and
Yep,
learn quick. You know
exactly.
what I mean? I'll never forget, man, like, and this was later on. This is later on. This 2002 when and it was just my feeling about it, just my opinion. I remember when 50 came out and 50 had New York on the smash, and then he
Oh
kind
yeah.
of went worldwide and he had, 2002, 2003. And I remember seeing the video for 21 Questions with him and Nate Dogg. He was locked up and it was,
Mhm.
girl, would you love me if I was, you know what I mean? This
Mhm.
and they made jail look like a hotel. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
man, this
yeah,
shit don't
yeah.
look like that.
Yeah, come on
I was
through
like,
there. I can tell
I
you,
was
come
like
on
this.
through there, Miss Chow, and they tell you or send you out to the yard because you complained against the captain, and now you on the yard for 3 hours in the brick, like outside.
Yo,
Yeah,
I was like, man, it was such a misguided, you know what I
yes,
mean,
yes,
video, just
hmm
to me anyway. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I was just like, man, this shit ain't like this for real. You know what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying?
It's
And I never
crazy.
been, bro. I don't want to ever go. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? But I just
hmm
knew from my uncles and my
yeah,
cousins,
yeah.
like,
That it
that ain't
wasn't,
where you
it
want to be.
wasn't the Marriott, no
Still
question.
listen, stick to your little rap thing, young blood. You don't
Exactly,
want to be in here. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
hmm
Crazy, man. So from Brand Nubian, and I just want to talk about you as an MC, man, and your unorthodox. You always approached a track with an unorthodox flow, and the way you would flow in conjunction with your voice always made you stand out to me. And whenever I heard you, I always knew it was you because it was a pattern that you didn't stick to one pattern. You would kind of dance on the track, and I always loved it, man. And your voice was always dope to me, man.
I
One of the most
appreciate.
recognizable hip hop voices ever.
And like that came about skills because like I was always a fan of hip hop. Like I was a fan of like the beginning hip hop, like Grandmaster Cash and the Cold Crush. Then I was a
Hmm.
fan of my contemporary brothers. I was a fan of Bismarck, a fan of Rakim, a fan of Coogee Rap, a fan of Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy, and I loved
Hmm.
all those groups. But I in my mind I would be like I love them, but I want to fit up there with them, but I don't want to be them. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
something I got to do has to establish me. That's why I tell like a lot of these young boys, I'm like, listen, if I put your name in the bag, this is what I used to tell them. If I put your name in the bag and I pull it out, what's going to separate you from this guy? And that mattered at one point, but now it don't matter no more. It's like if I put your name in the bag and I pull it out and you sound like this guy, they're like, yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted to sound like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we got it. And I'm like, wow. You know, but the powers the powers that be promote it. And then, like you see, when they get tired of you, you know, for every Migos and for everyone that's last a year, it's about 500,000 that come out and they don't last at all. And it's like,
man.
You know.
And I always tell these kids, I'm like, I used to tell them, like, you know, I said, listen, man, if you sound like somebody else or you chasing somebody else's, you know, their MO or what they did, then number one, you're not being original. And number two, the only thing left for you is their crumbs.
Exactly.
Like, and I would break it down for them in an analogy. Like, listen, if you sat right here and watched me eat and you was hungry and you just watched me eat all my food and there ain't nothing left on my plate but crumbs and I gave you that, you can't get full off that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
Like, it's nothing for you on the, like, you're going to have to eat a whole bunch of crumbs to even have a halfway decent meal.
Exactly.
Be original.
And see, the thing is, like, what's sad about it is a lot of these young boys, rappers, young boys, whoever, they cool with that. They're like, all right, yo, I'll do that, and then I'll be like, yo, never mind, man.
Yo,
never mind.
You missed the whole point, young
Exactly.
blood. Like, you missed the whole point. Man, so with a legendary career with Brand Nubian, you know what I'm saying? You, Pooh and Jamal did y'all thing. You know what I'm saying? Then y'all split up, and then you and Jamal did y'all thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would maybe counted y'all out, but y'all turned that corner and gave us some bangers. Punks Jump Up, and you know what I mean? Like, Love Me or Leave Me Alone, and stepped out on y'all own and proved, like, yeah, we still good. We gonna do this hip hop thing. Like, one era don't stop no show. We gonna keep doing what we do.
Exactly.
One of my favorite pivots of you was when you stepped out to Loud and did your solo thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, bro, we used to spit over the instrumental to Lump every weekend. That was in the car, man. Listen.
No question.
That was in the car. We used to rock that joint, man. And it was so good to see you step out on your own, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, you was getting 3 verses of Sadat X, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, it was full songs, hooks and all that, you know what I mean? You hooked up with a lot of dope producers, man, and you know, that's still one of the classic albums that I rock to this day.
Appreciate. And that Wild Cowboys was basically me going back to the Bronx. Because if you notice, you know, I respected everybody, but that was 90% Bronx. That was Minnesota showbiz, Diamond, Buck Wild, Father Time, like Moneyball's Players, Sean Black. You know, it was just coming on home. You know what I'm saying? Coming on home, and letting the hometown feel something. No question.
That was dope, man. That was a good period in hip hop, and I always loved Loud records. And you know, anytime you saw somebody on Loud, you know you was gonna get it was gonna be some good hip hop involved with that, man.
No question.
So listen, you know, nowadays, you know, it's one thing that, you know, I follow you and I watch you, and it's one thing that I've always catered to and I've always felt a connection with. I remember back when I first came out, right? I came out in like 96. And what happened was I went up to New York, did the whole album. You know what I'm saying? The couple videos came out. I got let go. I had to come back to Virginia, right? So when I came back to Virginia, I started working again. I just went back to work. You know what I'm saying? I just had a daughter. You know what I'm saying? I was working at this college. And you know, and my videos were still on Rap City. You know what I'm saying? I'm still on Rap City, and I'm at this college, and people looking at me like, damn, like, yo, he out here just working. Damn, that's crazy. What happened? Like,
Yeah. I know that well, definitely. You know?
And I told people, I used to tell people, you know, I was like, yo, if it was today, like, I would be a meme. Like, niggas would try to meme me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And shame me for having a job. And the crazy part was, you know, like I said, I just had a daughter. I had a full-time job. I had health benefits. You know what I'm saying? I was taking care of my family. And you've always been a person that preached that. Like even when you know, I remember you was a fireman for a while, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I remember reading about that and what you was doing then, and it made me feel proud. Like, listen, bro, like ain't nothing worse than a man that feel like he too good to work a trade or to take care of his loved ones. Like, so when I read that, you know, I had a connection to it because I was right in that that was happening in my real life.
Yeah, and to tell you, not to cut you off, Skillz, but to tell you, I'm working now. I work at Duke Raleigh Hospital. I'm a sterile processing technician, which means that all the instruments that come down, I clean. I'm certified to do scopes and everything. I went to school for this, you know. And I try to tell people, I'm like, if you take a step back and open your mind, 90% of this world works. You understand?
Yes.
You got 90% of men, women that work some sort of 9 to 5, some sort of job. Then you got a percentage, especially in this hip hop, you got a very small percentage that now that, you know, with the way it's going now, that can actually live and do what they want to it. Then you got a large percent of people that, you know, they look good on the screen, but behind they sleeping on the floor and they struggling like ever, but they trying to keep up this image, so they keep on going. And I tell people, it's nothing more honorable than a man or woman that go to work, come home, and take care of their family, put a roof over their head, and is able to live. You understand? And that's kind of has been not celebrated amongst us, man. You know, they make it you know, they make it seem like, oh, if you doing this, and I said, well, I tell you what, I still got some of my rap money, but why should I have to spend all of that? You understand? Why can't I work at Duke Raleigh, where I work at now for 3.5 years, where in another 2 years qualify for the pension, which is for life, which is health benefits for life, you know what I'm saying? Which, if I have a child and they want to go to Duke University, can go to Duke University.
Good.
I'm like, why wouldn't you do something like that? And in actuality, Skillz, I'm probably making just as much or more music now than working, because now I know when I do go to the studio, do something, listen, I got to come in here. It ain't no bullshitting time now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got to work tomorrow in the morning. So when I come in here, I'm coming already. I done had the beat. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming in.
Right.
I got and it's nothing wrong with writing in the studio, but I'm writing it at home. So when I'm in there, I'm not wasting no time.
Nobody's
I'm in
time.
and out. No, I'm not wasting the engineer time, nobody's time. And when you do it like that, you see people are more apt to work with you. Because trust me, Skillz, I done been through marathon sessions coming up, 2-3 day sessions where we come in with the record to sample first before we even get to writing. So you know, I know, definitely.
Ain't no drums, just a loop.
No, yeah, exactly. And we got to piece everything together, then start writing. You know, so I know them long sessions. Man. I know.
Yeah, man. And you know, for me, man, like I've always looked at it like like you said, that's a part of hip hop that was never celebrated enough, man. That you know, why can't I step away from this? You know what I'm saying? And still take care of my responsibilities without people thinking it's funny or it's a joke.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I told listen, bro, I tell people to this day, I said, listen, bro, if this shit didn't work out for me, whatever my family needed me to do for it to work, I don't care what y'all niggas saying.
Exactly.
I know my daughter gonna have shoes. My daughter gonna have food on the table. Y'all niggas say what y'all wanted when y'all see me behind the counter, behind the glass, whatever. I don't live for y'all.
And what's crazy,
you know what I'm saying?
Skillz, some of the people that was laughing, I know personally is struggling right now. Like, if I really wanted to and I start naming names, we're like, son, like you was laughing, but you the same nigga that's living check to check. You understand?
Facts.
You the same nigga that's calling and beefing about getting the deposit. You know what I'm saying? This and that. So don't front now. Don't get it twisted. If I start going into my name bag, I'm like, come on, man.
Right.
You know?
Because it, you know, I never thought it made me look a certain way. I felt like it might look that way to the world, but I always felt, I was like, nah, you smart. You know what I'm saying? You work, and we've always said, work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And if anybody had a problem with that, they wasn't your real man anyway. So your real family, they didn't care because you did what you had to do. And those are the people you need to be around anyway. Anybody that got a problem with it, I don't need to be around anyway. No question.
Right. Right, because your real family would rather see you going to a job and taking care of your business than in the graveyard or in the prison. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
There you
I
go.
want you out here where I could love on you, I could see you, or we could
Exactly.
fellowship, we could brotherhood.
Exactly. No
Yeah,
question.
man. Crazy, man. So listen, you also started doing this thing before we get into your confession. You also
Okay.
started doing True Wine Connoisseurs. Tell
Yeah.
me about that.
Well, basically, it was when my man Will Tell up in Brooklyn. We used to be in the studio.
Shout Will Tell, yeah.
Yeah, we used to be in the studio, and I remember that winter we was drinking a lot of Hennessy, this and that. And, you know, sometimes that Hennessy come down on you. And one day it was snowing, and we ran out of Hennessy, and we was like, yo, I don't really feel like walking to the store. Nobody felt like walking. And he had a bottle of wine. So he cracked the wine, and for some reason, you know, he was filming us while we was drinking it. And, you know, we was laughing and bugging out and
Right.
doing jokes. And he posted it, and, you know, people was like, that was kind of funny. So we bought a couple of more bottles of wine, kept doing the same thing. After a couple of months, we was contacted. It was a dude that owned the winery. And he was like, yo, listen, if y'all dudes is ever really serious about, you know, wine, come to the winery and I'm going to teach y'all about it. So we went out
Right.
to Pennsylvania to the winery. His name was Gino. And he taught us about the wine. He showed us the process of how it was being made. And we came
Wow.
back and, you know, then, you know, certain wine people would start sending us wine. Then there was another guy, Mike, and he called us one day and was like, yo, if y'all ever want to make your own wine, you know, holler at us. And we was like, yo, you know, we want to make our own wine, but we want to be involved in the process. We don't want you just to make it and we slap our
Right, we
name
wanna
on
be
it like
involved,
that.
right.
So we got involved in it. We went and picked our own grapes. You know, my man Will flew out to Italy a couple of times when I couldn't make
Wow.
it and went to the actual vineyards. And, you know, we came out with True Wine Connoisseurs. And it's been out now about 7 or 8 years. We stopped it right now for about 8, 9 months. We in the process of rebranding everything. And at the top of the year, we gonna kick it back off again.
Dope. Yeah, man. I definitely want to see that, man. I remember them joints, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
and I was like, this was a dope idea. You know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt.
Like, yeah, I'm glad that y'all didn't put it to rest, that it's definitely gonna be back in front of
Yeah,
our
we're
faces
gonna
in the new
reboot it
year.
and see now we really know what to do. And when we reboot it this time, it'll be done on a much better and a much higher scale.
Dope, man. Listen, if you take some time off, you come back bigger and better. That's all.
That's how
That's
you
all
do
people
it.
could be ready for. Yeah,
That's
facts,
a fact.
facts. All right, so listen, we're gonna get into it, man. This show is called Hip Hop Confessions.
All right.
You know what I mean? I've had people on here from Jazzy Jeff to Kwame to Joe Buttons. A lot of my friends, Lil Duval, a lot of people. So I'm gonna ask you, Sadat X, what is your hip hop confession?
All right. This is my hip hop confession. One day I'm in the crib, man. This is when I was living uptown. And you know, I'm with the fellas and you know, we smoking, drinking, and I get a call. And it's a girl call. She's like, yeah, my name is such and such from Rockefeller. I'm gonna call you back in a minute. You know, Jay-Z's interested in you coming and doing a hook for him and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. You know, I'm thinking, it's Jay-Z, you don't want, you know, like somebody playing around from Rockefeller. And then I get a call back again. And they're like, listen, we're gonna be doing this tomorrow. You know, you're gonna fly out to Virginia and you know, to the studio because we was I think at Pharrell's joints down there because he was doing the joint with Pharrell. So
Yeah,
I was like,
Master Sam.
yeah. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, whatever, boom. So like in the morning, I get a call and they're like, it's gonna be a car to pick you up in an hour. And I'm like, in an hour? I'm like, who is? And they're like, yeah, you gonna do the song today. We got a car coming, Rockefeller. We're gonna take you to the airport and do this. So the car comes. And now, like, you know, the airports is in Queens that I know, like John F. Kennedy and
JFK,
LaGuardia.
yeah,
Yeah,
LaGuardia,
JFK and
that's
LaGuardia. So I'm like, we get in the car and we going over the George Washington Bridge. So I'm like, all right, we must be going to Newark Airport then. Maybe we ain't going to LaGuardia. Then we veer off. So now I'm like, yo. I'm telling the driver, yo, man, pull over, man. Like, yo, for real, like, what's going on, man? I'm thinking now, like, I done did something to
ain't
somebody.
right.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to get
somebody
taken
set
for that
me up.
long ride. I'm taking that long ride now. So I'm like, yo, wait a minute, man. So we get out to Teterboro. And we drive like directly to the joint, to the plane. This is one of them, you know, them
Private.
them private jet joints. And I'm like, well, damn. I'm thinking that, you know, Jay gonna already be down, I guess, wherever we gonna do. And I get on the plane, and Jay is on the plane. There's a couple of other people. And I mean, it's like champagne and steak and all types of shit on the plane. I'm like, yo. I'm like, I'm bugging, man. I'm like, all right, I don't want to fan out and look like I'm not used to no fly shit. So I'm like, all right, I sit back. Now we get down to the studio. Now, massive sound, I guess Pharrell and them, it's a couple of rooms in that studio.
Yeah, it's like it was in the cul-de-sac.
Yeah. So in the studio, he got a couple of a couple of recording studios within one. And when I tell you, I had to do the verse. I did the chorus that wound up he used for his song with Uncle Murder. Like he asked for it, his man saw it, so I did that. But while I was down there, Pharrell was there. He was doing the joint. Ladies, what's your name? I can't tell.
Yo, excuse me, miss.
Yeah, he was doing excuse me, miss in one room. Then he was doing another joint in another room and another joint. So Jay was just going from studio to studio to studio to studio doing joints. And I was like, yo, man, I was like, damn. We did all that, got back on the plane. You understand? Back at the crib. Well, when I got back at the crib, I'm in the crib like, yo, what just happened today? Like, yo, I done been down to Virginia to the studio and I'm back at the crib already, man. It was it was like a whole thing. And that's when I got a real true respect for Jay. And I seen that his work ethic was. And I was like, yeah. So he ain't playing with it. He ain't playing with it. I see what he's doing.
He's definitely one of the greats, man.
No question. I see what he's doing.
Wow, that's that was a crazy whirlwind day. And the fact that you thought like, damn, somebody done set me up. Somebody about to try to take me on a long ride.
Once we wasn't going to Newark, and we
None
took
of
that
the
other
airport.
way. Yeah, I was like, yo, I don't know where we going, man. I told the driver, like, yo, pull over, man, for real, man. Like, I don't like the way this is going down. Like, let me speak to somebody from Rockefeller on the phone. They was like, nah, it's good. We going to Teterboro. That's where the plane. I said, oh, okay. All right, long as I know where we going, man. No question.
That's crazy, man. Wow. That's I know that was I know that was an ill day, man. Listen, and that studio, they used to cook. They cooked up a lot of things in that studio, man. A lot of legendary songs.
And that was then. And this, I had another hip hop confession. This is about less than a year ago. Like one day, Kane is down here too. In Carolina.
I know Kane is in.
So Kane called me. Kane is like, when Kane called, he's like the Godfather. You come, he's like, yo, I'm gonna be at the crib on this day, y'all. I want you to come
pull up. Yeah.
I said, all right, so I'm gonna pull up. I pull up to Kane's.
You sound just like him.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, man, I got somebody downstairs too. And I get downstairs and it's G-Rap downstairs. So now I'm bugging. I'm like, oh, G-Rap is here. I always like me and G-Rap is love every time. If we go in Kane basement, like Kane got like a 70s themed basement. So
I heard about this.
Yeah, it's like
I haven't seen it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, it's like the disco ball and everything. And then Kane's like, yo, you drink wine? I'm gonna bring out some wine. Kane go and bring out some vintage wine. So now we running through 2 or 3 bottles of wine. Then I'm thinking, all right, man, it's been a great night. Kane like, yo, you hungry? I'm like, yeah, I'm a little bit hungry. He proceeds to go upstairs and chef like a 5-course meal. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what could have been better than this? Well, I'll go home. I'm tired. And I'm full. I done been with Kane and G-Rap.
I'm with two members of the Juice Crew.
Word. I'm like a flying on the wall. I'm listening to their stories, and I'm like, yo. I'm like, see, man, this hip-hop thing is a beautiful thing when you let it be.
Man, listen, I would have lost my mind. And I got
question.
a homeboy that I do music with named Gavin. And he's been to Kane's. How he said, yo, when I walked in there, man, he said, I thought Barry White was about to come out. He said,
word.
It's all decked out. It's like
exactly. It's like the shag
going through a time machine.
For real. The old TV. I'm like, damn, Kane got it all down here. Where it felt like I was on Good Times. I was like, all right, that's what's up. No question.
Oh man, that's crazy, man.
No question.
Hey, yo, OG Kane, man. If you listen, man, I need an invite, brother.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I want to pull up, man. So listen, my hip hop confession, and you touched on a little bit of it earlier.
Okay.
I remember going to see y'all at a club down here in Richmond, Virginia called Ivory.
That was the spot in Richmond, Ivory's, no question.
Listen, Ivory's on Broad Street, college night with DJ Cool. Shout to Steve Branch. Steve Branch used to run Ivory's. My sister used to work there. I was too young to get in, but my sister let the security guard know that's my little brother. Let my little brother in. I come to see y'all, the whole crew. I think it was all of y'all, Alamo, everybody. It was a whole crew. And like I said, I've been fans of y'all from back in the day. I had the album. I used to man, I remember I listened to I used to listen to Step to the Rear going to school every day.
All right,
right?
no question.
So at the show, I'm like, I'm going to this Brand Nubian show. Fuck this. Like, I got to be in there. And it was popping. It was college night. Because that club was right on the strip as
Yeah,
a
right on
college
that
called
strip.
VCU.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I go to the show. Y'all did all of the joints, man. Like, listen, everything. Step to the Rear, Slow Down, of course.
Right.
Yeah, One for All. It was a perfect
Yes, sir.
show.
All right.
Perfect show. Come outside, the let out. Soon as we let out, as soon as I hit the pavement and made a left on the turn to the door, bow, bow, bow,
Oh,
bow, 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 bow.
yeah.
I said, yo, we get down, me and my homeboy, we get down, we shooting. They shooting. The security guard pulls us back in the club.
Wow.
So we like locked in the club.
All right.
And this shit had you remember Ivory's had 2 floors.
Yeah,
So
hell
it was
yeah.
upstairs and it was downstairs. Y'all perform upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first time I ever, not that that's some hip hop shit, but that's the first time I ever went to a hip hop show and major violence. Like I was seeing people, niggas was trampling over people,
Exactly.
girls and
Hell
shit.
yeah.
Acura's pulling out BMW skirt with the BBSs
question.
and shit. And
Hell
I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember my mom, I tried to hide it from my mom. I didn't want my mom to know that they had got the shooting at the club, the show last night. And she found out about it later on that week. And I couldn't go to Ivory's no more for a while.
Yeah,
so I missed a few shows. I think a couple more people came through. Special Ed came through. I didn't get to see that one. Heavy and them came through. But yeah, man, I was at that show.
Yeah.
Where somebody popped off right outside, man. And
Ivy's was that spot, boy. It'd be Richmond ballers and ballers from the area, college students and athletes. Everybody was mixing.
All
girls,
mixed in.
Everybody mixed in.
Yes, man. And it was a crazy night, man. But I'll never forget it because, like I said, I used to listen to Step to the Rear every day walking to school.
What's up.
That was my joint, man. So yeah, man, we definitely have crossed paths, and y'all have been super influential, and you have been super influential to me as an MC.
And I always followed your end of the year joints. Those was always
thank you.
Always a plus. Because you'd be at the end of the year, be like, I know Skillz gonna get ready and drop something again at this end of the year joint. No question.
Thank you,
Definitely.
man. Thank you, man. Well, what you got? What's on the horizon for you now, man? What you working on now, so the people can definitely tap in with what you got going on.
All right. Well, y'all can follow me on IG. I got a new page now. It's Derek Murphy 2625. Derek Murphy 2625 on the gram. And I got a new album coming out in about 2-3 weeks called The Science of Life. And like I said, it's following off the single that I just dropped in the video. I went up to Brooklyn. My baby's up there, so I went up there this weekend and did a video, had her in the video, and just trying to, I got Rock Marcy did this joint, Rock Marcy.
Oh, okay, fire.
Yeah,
Shout to Rock.
I got some of the younger rappers on it. I got Crime Apple on the joint, you know what I'm saying, and TF Scanless out of LA. So just trying to bridge the gap, man, and showing that all OGs ain't the cranky OGs. Like some of us still understand and still appreciate. And if they giving me love, I'm gonna give love. We reciprocate. That's how we bridge the gap.
Right. Yeah, nah, man. And that's a dope thing to see, man. And like you said, you are one of those OGs that are very, you're very inviting and you lead and you teach and you're not preachy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You kind of, you know what I'm saying? And you always been that way. And even growing up and to being an elder statesman in hip hop, I'm just glad you kept that same energy. Because y'all was teaching the babies when I was a baby and y'all still teaching them, man. And that's just dope. That's just dope to see. And Brand Nubian still out on the road. I see y'all pop up every now and then doing shows. Y'all was just at y'all just did the Rock the Bell joint.
Yeah, no question. L brought us up, which was cool, man. That L did that, man. I really appreciate that. We had a ball out there, no question.
Dope, man. Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you. I ain't gonna hold you, man. Thank you for pulling up.
No doubt.
Always love on this side, man. You already know what it is. Make sure y'all tap into what he got going on. Follow him, Derek Murphy. What is it? Derek Murphy 2526?
Derek Murphy 2625, no question.
Derek Murphy 2. Yes, let's get it. Y'all already know what it is. This is the OG, Sadat X.
Peace.
This is Mad Skillz for HipHopConfessions. Cause everybody got one piece.
Here's a little story that must be told.
And it goes a little something like this.